recently watched an interview with this Presbyterian pastor. There was this whole thing about how to do church online. And so I watched this interview with her. And she has built this online spiritual community. You see, even Cece, she's like, I'm excused. I don't have to be up there anymore. Where'd everybody go? But she has built this whole online community. And it was not her intention. She didn't start out trying to do this. It simply sprung up around her because she had decided to start posting these short messages on TikTok with a very simple message. God loves everyone. Radical, right? I know. And in the interview, she said she just started posting on TikTok during COVID because she didn't have a lot of other things to do, and it just felt like the right thing to do in the moment. And she says she was really shocked as her following started to grow. She was just shocked at how many people online were hungry to hear this simple message of God's love for them. And she now has 295,000 followers on TikTok. And she has created a Patreon page where her congregation can come together and find support and monetarily support her ministry in the meantime. And man, I thought to myself after watching this thing, I went back to like, I'm going to reactivate my TikTok. 295,000 followers, man. What are you waiting for? I got to get moving. In that moment, though, you know, I had to stop myself. Because I've been here before. That moment, when you look out in the world and you see other people succeeding, you know, and you think, man, that's the way I'm going to succeed too. I do it all the time. This is one of my repeating emotional patterns, which begins with excitement. Woo, look at that, 295,000 followers. And then turns to envy. Oh, 295,000 followers. Really? What are you doing? And then it turns into despair and hopelessness. Man, I'll never be able to do that. Why can't I hit on the 295,000 follower idea? And it turns into doom and gloom, and then I wonder, what the hell am I doing with my life anyway? Am I just wasting time here? Why didn't I think about posting about God's love on TikTok? I mean, come on. That can't be that radical of an idea, right? And now, so my ego has got me spinning around on that thought that we all have. What is the purpose of my life? What am I doing? And I want you to know this morning, Jubilants, that is a trick question. Because the ego will give you a million different responses. And you know what? They're all going to be based on what we think we should be doing in the world. We should be doing more for the environment. We should be fighting more political battles. We should be out there developing a cure for cancer or something. We should be posting short messages about God's love on TikTok every chance we get. We should be out there saving the world in some grand fashion. But what if that, here's a radical thought, what if that is not how the world gets saved? What if the world gets saved by millions of tiny gestures of peace and love and understanding instead of one or even many grand sweeping gestures? What if, Jubilants, our true purpose is just to be about doing one of those millions of tiny gestures that changes the whole trajectory of the world in any given moment? What if our ultimate purpose is just to be present in this moment and do whatever the highest vibrational thing we feel in this moment needs to be doing? As I considered a TikTok ministry, I realized that, yeah, well, it's probably a good idea, and Jim would probably go, why aren't you doing it? I'll tell you why. It didn't feel genuine to me. It didn't call me in the same way that writing sermons or articles for my blog does. When I sat with it in that moment, it felt wrong, it felt forced, it felt artificial. And as anybody can tell you, you can tell me When you run across something that you feel, you know their heart's not in it, they're just doing it for the money, they're just doing it for the followers, they're just doing it to do something, to get something, you know it. You know it when you see it. I'm not going to get 295,000 followers with that. I'll be lucky to get 2. I got 43 followers on TikTok right now. I know. I have two videos up, exactly. But you know, I could do it. I could get in there with the aim of getting thousands of followers, get paid. That's what my ego wants. It wants to get seen. It wants to get recognized. It wants to get paid. If I just want to get my message out to make money, though, that's not my purpose. That's not why I'm here. The world, of course, is going to tell you differently. It insists that, yes, your money-making and fame-making ideas are your purpose. And that's what it tells you all the time. We are inculcated about these ideas from our birth. You go to school, you get an education in a field that makes money. Who's been told that? When I went to my high school counselor, and she said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a writer. And she said, well, you might want to get an accounting degree, too. You got to make money. You're not going to make money as a writer. What does she know? Here I am, making money. I write every day. There you go. I can't even remember her name, but anyway. But we got to climb the ladder. We got to get our success. We got to get our fame, find somebody to marry, have kids, buy a house, build a life, build a fortune, build a legacy. That's what the ego wants. Of Course in Miracles talks about the difference between grandiosity and grandeur. Your ego is about its grandiosity. Look at me. Listen to me. See me. Your grandeur. Your grandeur never gets noticed, but it makes all the difference to the people who feel it, to the people that you help, to the people that you build relationships with. Your grandeur is your purpose. What if, though, success is not what the ego thinks? What if purpose isn't what the ego says it is? What if what the world says we should be doing is not what purpose is all about? I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Bashar. He's a non-physical being that is channeled through a man named Daryl Anka. And Bashar says that your purpose in this life doesn't have to be grand by the world standard. Your purpose, instead, is something that you live every moment. The past is gone. You can't build anything there. Our future hasn't even happened yet. All we have, Bashar says, is this moment, right here, right now. And if we take advantage of this moment and do the things that spark our passion in this moment, then we are living on purpose. If we do the things that are most passionate in this moment, then we build a life of purpose. Instead of picking a purpose to pursue, which is how the world says, pick your dream, go for it, instead we let purpose pursue us. And this is exactly what that online pastor did. She felt moved to go on TikTok. It was her highest calling in that moment. And from there, she allowed life's purpose to live through her. Her purpose is to create this online ministry, but the purpose found her through her passion, not the other way around. When I get caught up in my pattern of, why didn't you think of that great idea? Or even the next thought of, you could copy that idea and make some money. I got to step back and consider the trajectory of my own life. And if I'm honest, I've actually done everything I'm talking to you about today. I have followed in each moment what I have always felt to be whatever the highest calling is. Sometimes I had to be pushed to do it. You know, if you go to a job and it makes you come home crying every day, you might want to quit that job. Find something else. But I thought my purpose was to be a journalist. But when I came home from my job at CNN every day crying, I realized I couldn't do it anymore. The industry itself had changed to a point where it was too painful to stay. And I could have stayed, and many of my colleagues did, and they became completely disillusioned, not just with the job, but many with their own lives. I could have stayed in academic public relations, which is where I went after journalism, but it too was not satisfying, and I have floated around and dabbled in other things: songwriting, performing, writing a book, may write another, who knows. I felt going to seminary was important, so I did that. And the breadcrumbs of my life seem really random: journalism and public relations and songwriting and writing a book and what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? But you know what? Right here, in this moment, all of the best parts of those experiences have made this. I got a management degree. How random is that? But it taught me a little bit about business and business plans and doing stuff like this. My time in radio helped me develop my speaking voice. My time in news writing helped me hone my storytelling skills. My time in public relations taught me the value of marketing and networking. My songwriting and performing skills have helped me lead and build a band that entertains and enlivens you every week. My seminary training prepared me mostly for how to start a spiritual community. I didn't know any of this when it was happening. But Jubilant Spirit was building a purpose for my life through the choices it was offering me in each moment. And as I chose the ones that called to me, even if they seemed disparate and contradictory, who goes to seminary and journalism? I was weird in the CNN newsroom. They're like, "You're in seminary?" Why? Spirit has put them together in a powerful way that I still can't explain, but I am extremely grateful for. And I am sure if you thought about it for a few minutes this morning and looked at the breadcrumbs of your own life, you can see those moments when you thought you were pursuing some big purpose in your life, but in reality, life was building that purpose for you and through you. We think we fail when we don't achieve our ego-based goals of pursuing some purpose that the world says we should aim for, but when we view our lives differently, when we choose again and look through the lens of Spirit, perhaps we can see it in a new way. Even if we have failed to achieve some purpose that we set for ourselves. I wanted to be Rachel Maddow, honestly. I mean, really. I could have done that job. Come on. But that wasn't the purpose. Her choices led her there, not mine. But I would venture to say, however our lives have unfolded, Spirit has been building its purpose through us, even if we can't perceive it yet. So I invite you, Jubilants, this morning, stop shooting on yourself. Stop following whatever it is you think the world expects from you, whatever ego-driven purpose you have set yourself up for as a goal. That doesn't mean don't dream. It doesn't mean don't think about better things. But don't let that be the end-all and be-all. If you don't get there, it's not that you failed. It's that you need to listen more closely to that passion in every moment that wants to build a purpose through you. Seek whatever excites you in this moment, because this is the only moment that you have. If you become aware of what you need in a moment, whether it is as small as phoning a friend or even taking a nap, do it. It's what Spirit needs of you at the moment. It could be something even grand. It could be taking part in a project that's aimed at a bigger goal of improving the world. It's going out Saturday, June 11th and joining people in fighting for better gun control laws. That's a big thing, but it takes a lot of us. Just being there, just putting your body out there and saying you want something different. That's how purpose gets lived through us. And if you will do that, if you can consistently, in any moment, I invite you, in any moment that you feel confused, breathe deeply and ask, Spirit, what would you have me do? What would you have me say? What would you have me say, and to whom? Where would you have me go? And do whatever excites you in the moment. Again, it could be taking a nap. The other day, I had just had it with work. It was just stressful, and I needed to not be in front of the computer screen for 10 minutes. And I went and I sat in my living room, and I stared at a wall for 10 minutes. It was great. I'm of no use to anybody if I'm all burned out. Sometimes your highest purpose is taking a break. And don't let the world tell you that that's lazy. It's not. It's how you get to the next moment in a higher vibration. And that's how you change the world. It's how you change the world within, because that's what changes the world without. I invite you to make this a practice. You'll forget. We always do. But if you're spinning, if you got the ego spinning, what do I do? What do I do? What's the purpose? Why am I wasting my life? Holy Spirit, help. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? If it's just be quiet right now, do it. Whatever it is. And if you can make that a habit, Spirit will build a purpose that is perfect for you. Marianne Williamson, in her nightly talks, when she was giving them years ago, every time she would finish a talk, there would inevitably be somebody raising their hand. I want to be a singer, but life hasn't opened the doors for me, blah, blah, blah. And she would get irritated with these people. It was funny. What if Spirit has some purpose for me that I don't want to do? And I remember one evening she sighed really heavily, and she said, look, Spirit is not going to call you to be an accountant if you suck at numbers. It's not going to happen. Spirit is going to use you, your gifts, the things that jazz you to make a difference in the world. That's why I'm here. People say, oh, you work on Sundays. And I'm like, no, I don't. I play on Sundays. I love this. And everything that has happened in my life has put me here. And I would have it no other way. Because everything prepared me for this. Purpose lives through me. Ego gets it completely backwards. And even when I had a chance to ask Marianne Williamson a question live and in person down in Charleston a few years ago, I raised my hand and went, what if Spirit asks me to sacrifice things that I really love? And she went, to me. Spirit's not going to do that. Spirit will put you in touch with what you love the most. And you don't even have to strive for it. I didn't work to get this job. It just came to me. Stop working so hard. Stop looking for your purpose. Let it find you. Let it help you become who you are. Because it knows. You don't. That's the thing. Where's the readings? Because I love that. I love what the Course says. You keep asking what it is you are. This implies that the answer is not only one you know, but also that it is up to you to supply. Yet you cannot perceive yourself correctly. You don't know what your purpose is. Your little small s self doesn't know, doesn't care to know, as long as it keeps you chasing your tail. You are the one holy child of God. And the King has sent you into this country to do one thing. Remember that. And to remember that everyone else is the one holy child of God. And that if you treat everyone you meet as the one holy child of God, how much respect we would have for one another. The Buddhists talk about greeting everyone as an old friend. Everyone you see, just an old friend. Hello, old friend. I haven't seen you in so long, it's good to see you. That's your purpose. To be in this moment. Greet the world as the old friend that it is. And do the one thing in this moment that opens your heart. Because that's how the whole world says. Oh yeah.